Hey, what's up, YouTube? What if I told you, hey, I saw the Simpsons the other day. Now I know the Rapture date, man. It was in the Simpsons. Or what if I told you, a comet is going to strike and destroy the Earth on September 24th. I saw it in a Hollywood movie, man. Or what if I told you, utter darkness is going to come upon the Earth on the 24th this month. I saw it in a commercial. The date was in there, man, in the commercial. Or what if I told you, guaranteed, man, this month, zombie invasion is gonna happen. It was all foretold in Resident Evil, man, 20 years ago. What would your response be to that? Or should I say, what should your response be? My response is, psh, get out of here. And why? Because it's insane, right? Yet this is what is happening in the midst of the Christian community on YouTube. And people believe it. The Rapture puzzle. This is all Renee M and her crowd is doing. They claim to know exactly when Jesus will rapture his bride, when a comet will destroy the earth, and when hell will be unleashed because Ace Ventura, pet detective, said so 20 years ago. Let me just ask you, since when does Bible prophecy rely on Hollywood? Commercials, comedy skits, cartoons, movies, Bart Simpson, rather than on God? Since when is Hollywood in control of the end times and Bible prophecy? Since when is Satan the decider of when and what God is going to do? Since when does the enemy know when Yahushua, Jesus, is coming for his bride? According to Renee M, the enemy knows and tells us faithfully through the movies. Is Renee M then simply working for the enemy? Now I know, before I continue, there are people who will say, Renee M has never claimed she's a prophet. Well, she is. A false one at that, and her continuous false prophecies prove it, not to mention her relying on worldly garbage for her prophecies. A true prophet would never use commercials and movies and TV ads and comedy skits and random worldly nonsense to predict and foretell what God is going to do. That anyone who is claiming to know and believe the Bible would believe this kind of stuff. I just go like, Renee M and the whole unrepentant crowd that can't care less they are falsely prophesying. You are fear-mongering the people, you are devastating and destroying their faith when that rapture doesn't happen, and you are guaranteeing them an easy way out, a rapture, because they said that salvation prayer, salvation prayer, salvation prayer, salvation prayer, salvation prayer. Yeah, you're in too, yeah, you did this prayer, exactly, absolutely. Just because they said that salvation prayer, they're guaranteed the easy way out. No works behind it, no effort, nothing. What do you think these people will do after all this is said and done and the rapture didn't happen? Will they be on fire for Jesus? Will they desire to live holy? Or will you have made them twice the child of hell that you are, full with a legion of demons as they're going back to a lifestyle of sin? But I almost forgot that was the whole purpose of Renee M and the Legion members. What? Legion members? Yeah. Renee M and her satanic Legion members were exposed not long ago, and they don't like it. You know, Renee M and your faithful crowd, you almost remind me of the false prophets of Baal on Mount Carmel in the times of old, with Elijah of old. And they were calling out to their strange gods to call down fire from heaven, and they were dancing and doing their rituals all day and predicting and calling upon their false gods. And guess what? Nothing happened. Until God had Elijah of old call down true fire from heaven, and the false prophets of Baal were destroyed. You are just like the false prophets of Baal, trying to call down devastation and strange fire and the aliens down from heaven. You know, you guys are making open fools out of yourselves, thinking you can call down aliens from the sky and force a rapture to happen and cause devastation on the earth by predicting it on the dates that you set because of a movie that you saw. And yet the people listening to you don't even understand or realize that these things are not determined by Hollywood movies and commercials. They are determined and ordained by God. He will allow it to happen in His perfect timing. Please don't be deceived by Renee M. Yahushua, Jesus Christ, is not coming for his bride on September 23rd, 2015. Don't be fooled by Renee M and the false prophets of Baal behind her, who, after nothing comes to pass, pat themselves and each other on the back and exalt each other as true prophets and watchmen on the wall. And they say to each other, well done, good job, well done, Good job. As they falsely prophesied again and they got away with it. At least that's what they think, but in heaven they didn't get away with it, let me tell you that. They think they're good watchmen, when the Bible never meant for a watchman to do what they do. The only thing the enemy knows is what has already been prophesied that God will do. But the enemy doesn't know exactly when. Neither can he influence it, when God will allow it to happen or when God will do what. But we do know this. The enemy wants to copy what God does, and he wants to go before God and do it first. In other words, the counterfeit comes first. Maybe that's why Yahweh God gave the warning through my pastor Elizabeth Elijah to warn the people of what Renee M and her crowd are trying to do. What the enemy exactly is planning for September 23rd, 2015. We're talking about a false rapture, a counterfeit from Satan sent from hell. They're setting you up for a big deception. People thinking Jesus is coming for them, when it's really the enemy destroying them. This is what the enemy is trying to do and accomplish on September 23rd, 2015. They are staging a false rapture to deceive the Christians. But we believe that the prayers of the righteous and the bride of YAHUSHUA HA MASHIACH will hold back what the enemy is trying to do and accomplish. None of these things can happen unless Yahweh God would allow it to happen in His timing. The enemy is angry and he keeps giving these false dates to throw the people off and deceive them, shattering their faith again and again as they realize Jesus is not coming for them on the dates that the false prophet said. But don't give up. Don't quit. Don't give up hope. Because Yahushua will come for His bride. He will come for His bride without spot or wrinkle. His people who truly love Him, who live holy, who uphold the standard of righteousness, who keep His 10 commandments, including the 4th one, the Sabbath day, keeping it holy. Those who keep the commandments of God and have the testimony of YAHUSHUA HA MASHIACH, who don't compromise with sin or sinners, and who are not afraid to expose and rebuke the evils of Renee M and other enemies who Satan is using to deceive the people. If you are hungry for true prophecy and the truth regarding the genuine rapture of Yahushua's bride, I invite you to come to amightywind.com and study the prophetic words that were given to my pastor, Prophet Elizabeth Elijah.